Hello my beautiful friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations and I'm Nova, and I'm so glad you decided to join me today. Today is Podcaster Spirit Day, Day 6, I believe. And today is Cowboy / Western theme. I do not have anything very cowboy or Western themed. So this is the best I could do. Just wearing a poncho shawl thingy mabob that my husband got me years ago, and I actually wear this a lot when it's cold out. It's like basically like wearing a blanket, and I'm wearing a brown sweatshirt because this is as close as I could get. I'm like, okay, browns, and this looks kind of cowboyish. I did pigtails. I realized after I probably should have done pigtail braids. But I don't think that my hair would do braids very well because it's got layers in it and I don't have super thick hair. Well, I have fine hair, so I just didn't think it would, this is what we're doing today. This is what we get. So I hope everybody is having a wonderful Friday. It is also Yarn Fairy Friday. So today we are on here for Yarn Fairy shenanigans. So I don't know if you've heard, but we kind of changed up the way that we're doing Yarn Fairy Fridays. Now that we have successfully finished out our stuff for Crystal, I wanted to run that until the end of September, and then October 1st mail everything to her so that I knew that it would get there in time. So we did it for 8 weeks, and I think it's been a smashing success. She has completely filled a very large suitcase, apparently. So that's super exciting, and everybody should feel very proud. And even if you didn't get to send stuff in, just like spreading the word, viewing like the Yarn Fairy Friday content, posting about it, commenting about it, you know, just like supporting the journey. She posted her costume stuff. If you haven't seen that yet, she got her dress and she got her wand all like nail polished with this like sparkly rainbow nail polish. If you haven't seen that, you should definitely go check that out. It is pretty awesome. So our new way of doing Yarn Fairy Friday, if you haven't seen that, is that we're doing like, it's just themed of charitable, helpful, donating, like that kind of thing. Okay, I finished up what I was doing. I was finishing up my Yarn Fairy Friday make, and apparently I cannot multitask to save my life this morning. So I had to finish that up because I could not talk at the same time. So if you haven't heard what Yarn Fairy Fridays are now, they are just like the community being able to come together and celebrate donating and charitable stuff and like helping, like I guess a mutual desire to want to use crochet to better the world, maybe would be a good way to put it, and doing it with Yarn Fairy goodness. And I think Yarn Fairy Friday still really fits as a name, because this idea of being like a fairy godmother that creates things, and originally the idea was, you know, that Crystal wanted to do it for Halloween and was going to poof out these little amigurumi for the kids. But I think you could think of it the same way with any like kind of charitable action where like you are the Yarn Fairy and you're coming to like sprinkle goodness of things that you make with yarn, like hats and gloves and scarves to people who are cold and don't have those things, or you know, to people who need to feel that extra love, you know, a blanket for a baby, a toy for a shelter animal that doesn't have a home, that doesn't have someone to spoil them. So you're kind of the fairy godmother that's coming to sprinkle yarny love on them and, you know, poof out a hat or poof out a blanket or whatever. So I still think it's a really good fit, and I still think coming together on Fridays and kind of showcasing different like charities and different I don't know, like donation ideas is a fun idea. And one of the cool things about Yarn Fairy Friday is that it now has no restrictions. It has no specific thing that you have to do. And, you know, nothing is being asked of you specifically. You can do whatever you want to do and participate in whatever way that you can participate and you want to participate. So my examples that I think are like good ways to explain Yarn Fairy Friday is, you know, maybe you're making hats for a cancer patient who's lost their hair, you know, to show them love and to keep their head warm. Maybe you're donating these to a local hospital. That would be something for Yarn Fairy Friday. Send in pictures of your makes. It can be works in progress. It can be like, look at this basket of hats I'm going to be bringing in. It could be whatever. It could be, you know, these old folks that are living in a rest home don't have anybody coming to visit them, so I'm making them some lap blankets. And it's not through a charity or anything, but I'm just going in and visiting with them and giving them these lap blankets. And like, look at these lap blankets, and here's the pattern I used. It's, you know, so-and-so's pattern. It could be, I found out my next door neighbor, you know, lost their husband and, or lost their wife, you know, whatever, and they aren't doing really well, you know, they're lonely. So I thought that they could use a hug, so I'm going to make them a shawl. You know, it doesn't have to be a specific like charity or, you know, specific thing, and you don't have to mail things, because that is kind of a that's kind of a roadblock for a lot of people, and myself included, that mailing things is not necessarily easy and it is not cheap. So now you don't have to mail things. You can choose to mail things if you want. There are obviously lots of different types of organizations that you can mail stuff to. And there's even some other podcasters here on YouTube that you can mail stuff to. So if you're looking for a charity to help out and you're not sure where to start, I would recommend checking out Rose Likes Crochet's YouTube channel. She does wings videos, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably already know about, but it is for a domestic violence shelter in Chicago, and they have really specific things they ask for each month, so that could be helpful if you want to help, but you don't really know where to start or what to make. And then there is a place called a Knitted Knockers, apparently, because I was trying to find, remember when I talked about Yarn Fairy Friday last time, I was trying to find specific ones for breast cancer, since it's October and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, that you could mail things to, and Terry Barres said Knitted Knockers takes donations, so I haven't looked them up myself, but you can check that out if you were looking for a breast cancer donation for this month. So if you want to participate, you are more than welcome to send me an email. My email is always in my description box, and it is novagnomecreations@gmail.com. And you can send me pictures of anything that you're working on or anything that you've made. You can let us know about, you know, who you're donating to, and any patterns you use, like anything that you want to include. You can say as little or as much as you want, and I will put it in for your Yarn Fairy Friday videos. So I'm just going to continue to do it on Fridays. So anything I get throughout that week, including Friday morning before I post my video, I will check my email and I will grab out any pictures and any little blurbs. Let me know what name you would like me to put on there. If you have like a YouTube screen name, or if you just want me to use your first name. But yeah, this is super, super open to interpretation, I guess, of just anything that you feel like kind of including, like you're trying to be helpful, I guess. And I think it will be fun because we can all, you know, appreciate each other's hard work and like get ideas and get pattern ideas and get charity ideas. I know I talked about what I had decided to do was I found out that there is a place that is in my town, or I don't know, I think it's in my town, but if it's not in my town, it's extremely close by, like one of the neighboring, like areas. But anyway, about it, I found out there was a place in my town called the Mad Cattery, which is for cats that need adopted. And I talked about it in my last video, so if you want to like see all about the Mad Cattery, I even like had pictures and stuff up. Check out that video, which is in my Yarn Fairy Friday playlist, which is in my description box under this video, or you can just go to my channel page and look for the last Yarn Fairy Friday video. But I talked about that and like wanting to make things for the kitties, and also I would like to make things for the dogs at the shelter at some point, but I'm gonna start with the kitties at the Mad Cattery because that's just where I'm gonna start. And I had shared about like wanting to help them and giving them toys to play with and stuff, and it helps them so that they have something fun to keep them stimulated and kind of spoiled, but also it might help them get adopted. You know, there are things that are cute when people come in to see them and they see them playing with these cute little toys, or if they take pictures, when they take pictures and post them on social media, trying to like garner interest in them, and you know, like people can see them like as a new pet for their family. They see them, you know, having fun with like these cute little aesthetic toys. It makes them like a little bit more likely to get adopted possibly. So it can kind of help in a few different ways, and being able to help with animals is something that means a lot to me. I always want to help animals in any way I possibly can, and this is actually really exciting for me because crochet is something I can do. Like, this is like, I found a way that I can help, that I'm capable of helping, because unfortunately I can't run a rescue. I can't, you know, save and adopt every animal. I'm not in a position to take on more animals than I already have. But I can crochet, and you know, I don't need a ton of money. I just need some yarn, and I can do this. So I'm really excited to have found a way that I can help. And I know that when I talked about it, several of you were actually like, I'm going to see if my shelter will take donations. Like, I love that idea. I would love to be able to help animals too. I would love to be able to help, you know, the dogs or the cats or whatever. So that's like a good example of just us doing these types of videos. We inspire each other. So it's fun, you know, we can talk about like what we're doing and really like motivate each other, like to get involved and to find new ways to help, and I don't know, just to share the cool things that we're making, and you know, the cool ways that we're finding to put crochet to use for good. So that's basically what Yarn Fairy Fridays are. I've got to come up with a way to explain them in a faster format for the future, but maybe I will try to come up with a condensed version that I put in every video or something. But that's my best attempt at explaining it, and I hope that that made sense. So this week I did not receive any pictures to my email. And I will check before I upload this, right before I go to edit it. But as of like a little bit ago this morning, I haven't received any. So make sure that you guys, if you would like to participate and have fun and do Yarn Fairy Fridays, make sure you get those pictures in by next Friday for me, and we can get them into the video, and we can share what you're working on. So at the beginning of the video, before I was like, okay, I cannot focus on crocheting and talking at the same time right now, was finishing up making a cat toy. So I was really lagging behind, so I actually made this morning. So these work up really quick, because I've been working on that wreath. So I went ahead and worked this up this morning, and I love it so much. So I've made one of these for my cat before, and I just did it in a solid color. I love it in the variegated yarn. I I had written down notes the last time that I made it with the tutorial video, and that's what I used to put this one together, and I think I like got a little wonky at parts. Like the tail, I was like having trouble understanding what I wrote down for the tail. Because this is actually really cool. As to not be a choking hazard for the kitties, this is no-sew. At least that's the reason that I consider it to be no-sew. You know, maybe it's just no-sew because it's easier. But this makes it so that it's not choking hazards because none of these pieces are coming off. These ears are worked as part of the pattern. The nose is worked as part of the pattern. And even the tail is worked as part of the pattern. You work it from the butt up to the nose, and then the tail, you cut a really long yarn tail and you weave it, or you thread it back through, and you create the tail with that. So literally none of this is sewn on. Everything is securely crocheted in one piece. So I love that because kitties love to play with yarn, and I don't want them getting some of it off and eating it, because that's what my cat would totally do. So this won't, cause any blockages or anything, and they can still enjoy it. And it doesn't have any eyes because those would be a choking hazard. And this pattern is by Mama J Crochet on YouTube. And I did go check her video, and there actually is a written pattern. I was just double checking who the pattern was by. There is actually a written pattern also. Like a blog pattern or something in her in her description. So yeah, I love how this came out in variegated yarn. How freaking cute. So cute. So my plan is that I'm gonna keep working on making kitty toys. And I plan on making at least one a week. I'm gonna keep doing it like I was doing Yarn Fairy Fridays, where I have like a goal of making one a week. But some weeks I'll probably make more than one. It'll just depend. And I'm gonna make, a little variety, different colors, different patterns. Mama J Crochet actually has more than one cat toy pattern, so I'll probably be making the rest of those her cat toy patterns. And then I'm thinking that I'll probably make like a crochet basket and have all of like the goodies that I'm gonna bring in, and I'm thinking probably sometime closer to Christmas, like closer to December, I will bring them in and bring in my basket of donations. And that's how I'm planning to do it for me, because transportation is difficult for me sometimes, because I can't drive. So accumulating a little stash of donations and then bringing them all at once works the best for me. And I think that honestly is kind of the case for everyone. Like, you wouldn't really want to like hand deliver a single item every time or anything. So I'm thinking I will work on like kind of accumulating a little stash of donations and then bring them in. But I thought that if I do like a little basket, they could use the basket also, and they could use it for whatever they want. They could use it at the shelter. They could use it to keep, cat treats or cat toys or whatever in. They could keep little blankets in it, whatever. So I'm not sure what all I'm going to make. I know I'm going to make toys. I might make some little blankets, just like anything that I can think of that might be useful. I did reach out to them to make sure they took handmade donations first, which I recommend doing. If you want to make things for like a local shelter or something, reach out to them, make sure they take handmade donations first, because it would really suck if you spent all of your time making all these things and then tried to bring them and they don't accept them. But they do accept them. And also I asked if there were specific things that they, thought that they needed more, just to let me know. And she said that they are always in need of toys. So I am going to focus on toys, and I definitely can do at least a toy a week. And I think these will be so enjoyed by the little kitties, and, hopefully, their new potential families will think they're cute too. Maybe they'll get to go home with them and like, I don't know. I just love this. I love it so much. I'm really excited about it. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. So don't forget to send me pictures for next week if you would like to. I know a lot of you were really excited about this idea of keeping Yarn Fairy Fridays going and making them just more, like the nature of like doing good with yarn. I honestly think that that's how I'm going to explain Yarn Fairy Fridays now, is doing good with yarn, doing good in the world with yarn. And I know a lot of you liked that idea, and a lot of you talked about your charities in the description, in the comments, which I loved, by the way. Then other people can read your comments too, and it kind of fosters that community aspect that I was talking about, where you can kind of get ideas from each other, and I just think that's a great thing to do. But nobody sent me pictures for the video, so I don't know if people forgot or what, but make sure you get those in for next week. And I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. I will be back on here with another video because I am still working on my wreath. But that is not Yarn Fairy Friday content, so that's not going to go in this video. I hope everybody has a wonderful Yarn Fairy Friday and a happy Western podcaster spirit day, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys!